MacDonald, thank you very much.
24 minutes past 8. It was inevitable, perhaps, that Pokemon Go would spawn a lawsuit in America. A man has complained that people have been knocking on his door and has accused the company of, and I quote, a flagrant disregard for the foreseeable consequences of populating the real world with virtual Pokemon. The collision, or perhaps the illusion, of the real world and the virtual world is one of the great changes of modern times, and it's going to be explored at the Edinburgh Digital Entertainment Festival, which kicks off today, and two of the speakers at that festival are here. They're Tony Austin, who's CEO of the Imaginarium Studios, and Tanya Laird, who's founder and CEO of Digital Jam. Morning to you both.
Good morning.
And Tanya Laird, first of all, a definition of terms, the difference between virtual reality and augmented reality.
So, in the simplest possible terms, the difference between a virtual environment and an augmented environment is simply that with a virtual environment, we create the environment and you're immersed within an artificial environment, whereas with augmented reality, we're layering in data or information on top of the existing real world.
And Pokemon is the augmented variety.
Indeed.
Right. Having got that straight, Tony Austin, when people complain about Pokemon, they are barking up the wrong tree, aren't they, in the sense that it is the shape, at least to an extent, of the future?
It's certainly a trend of the future in terms of behaviours. But we also have to understand that with any technology, with any game, and we have to remember that Pokemon Go is ultimately a game, less about the technology, but more about the fact it is a game. And there's only so much that one can do to mitigate against what people will do whilst playing a game.
But augmented reality, Tony, will become more than a game, won't it?
Yes, I think storytelling is the interesting thing. For us, we're storytellers. We tell stories. Telling stories in the augmented and virtual world is going to be fantastic for us.
Give an example, then, of something that isn't a game, is a storytelling which uses augmented reality, or will do in a few years' time in a way that we'll get used to.
Well, I think it won't be in a few years' time. It'll be quite soon. We already make narrative video games today. So that means not a shoot-'em-up. So that means a story that you navigate through.
Like a film.
Like a film, yeah. But you have some control as a user, as a player, as a viewer, as to where the route goes.
And that's been around for a bit, then,
a long time.
What are we looking at in years to come?
Well, imagine a situation in an augmented reality environment where we're sitting here today in the studio and there is a story playing out because I'm wearing augmented reality glasses, where there is another person sitting in the corner and I'm watching him or her or the creature, and that's taking part in my life, a bit like Pokemon Go, but there is a story that is unfolding, that's actually, as far as I'm concerned, is completely real. Imagine also a situation where you're on let's say a Skype call or a FaceTime call, and rather than seeing the person on the screen, the person's actually sitting in front of you. You're actually seeing the individual.
And this technology is not as far away as you would think. If you look at Microsoft's holoportation technology, this is already here and now. This isn't something that's going to be 5 or 10 years out.
And what's fascinating to me about it is it's not virtual reality. You're not wearing kit and staring into it. Is that, in a sense, a blind alley, do you think? I mean, is virtual reality going to stop with that kit because of the limitations that it puts on you?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a number of different things at the moment. There's an app at the moment that is around that is an augmented reality app. So you look through your mobile phone. There are billions of mobile phones, smartphones in the world. You can use that to do it. We are doing something with the Royal Shakespeare Company in November this year, which is actually producing 3D CG, live CG objects live on the stage in Stratford-upon-Avon. So there are many different ways.
So they're not really there?
So they're not really there. There's an actor.
How would you tell that they are there?
Because there's an actor who is performing, because everything has to be performed. So there's an actor who is being captured and his movements are being moved in real time, live, on stage. You're seeing him and his avatar, as we call it.
Where does it leave broadcasting?
Well...
We're not really here, actually.
Yeah, we're just virtual beings. I mean, the future for performance is very much where the Imaginarium is at in terms of motion capture and being able to capture somebody's performance in one location and project that performance somewhere else without the physical need to be there. So in the same way that you can have a Skype call and take part in a conversation from anywhere in the world, you'll be able to perform from
and
anywhere
news
in the
as
world.
well?
Wouldn't that be fantastic to be able to take people into the radio car with John MacDonald for that interview? For somebody to be there. That's real today. Mm-hmm. You can do it today.
Mm-hmm.
The festival is the Edinburgh Festival, Digital Entertainment Festival. It starts today. It runs until the 28th of August. Tanya Laird and Tony Austin, both speakers there. Thanks both very much.
Thank you.